Hello guys, and welcome to the first regular video on this channel. I would really like to utilize this channel a little bit more because I want to talk about K-pop. I don't have that many friends that listen to K-pop and that I can talk to when it comes to my K-pop collection or what I think are like the best songs that were recently released, stuff like that. And that's why there will be some random videos on this channel, just what I want to post. And I thought it would be a good idea to start with my K-pop binder tour. I did actually never plan on collecting K-pop photo cards. It just happened. I don't know. I think I have the feeling that it happens with a lot of people that they don't plan to collect photo cards. But then when you start to watch YouTube videos about K-pop collections, then you just naturally get into it. And that's what happened to me. I started collecting photo cards, I think summer of last year, so my collection is not that big. But I'm quite happy with what I gathered until now. The thing is, I collect quite a lot of groups, and if I'm unlucky, more than one bias in a group. So my collections for the individual people are a little bit smaller due to the fact that I collect a lot of people. Definitely not the best decision, would not recommend, but it just happened to me and I love all my biases, so it's really hard not to collect them. Just some information about me. I have two alt groups that are currently still promoting, that are Monsta X and Ateez, and one alt group that unfortunately disbanded, which is X1, and a lot of groups that I stan. So we will start with my binder and with my collection of Monsta X. My bias in Monsta X is Kian, and like the order of the photo cards is the following. First I have some group cards, then I have some unit cards that include Kian as well. I think I did quite okay on those two collections, but when it comes to Kian's Korean album cards, I'm really bad at collecting them because he already had so many when I started collecting and I was focusing more on other people. You will see that, and please don't pay attention too much to like this handwritten fillers because they are really ugly. So I just made them for myself and I did not plan on showing those to anybody, and those are already all my Korean album cards that I have for Kian. With those, of course, like I was already actively collecting during follow era, so I did better on this one. And in the middle, of course, is a card of Oneus, which we have to have, and this will be Fantasia X incoming. And then we have some Japanese cards. I found some quite good offers on those, so this collection looks a little bit better. Now additional stuff, concert cards or fan con stuff, and I also do quite well on those merchandise cards from Txt or Tony Moly. I don't know why, but I collect those regularly, and yes, I own some, and those two are just fan-made cards, but I really like them, so that's why they are here. And I have the same order for all my larger items except for this one, because it is the same Txt collection than the photo cards are, and I like just store them together. Then up next we have some photo cards of other members. I also want to have some mono cards, but not that much. And then we are onto my OT7 sets from the last World Tour. Both of those are from the DVD, and this is from Tony Moly. Then there are some Polaroids that I already have. The follow stuff, like the standees, I wanted to collect Oneus and Kian, and for the bookmarks I wanted to collect Kian and Hyungwon. I did those, but I have some bookmarks left. The follow Kino cards. Then we have already some cards set up for Fantasia X. Then other postcards. Like, I really like those, but I have to put them in other two pocket pages because those are way too small. Then some more Polaroids and postcards. And then we are up to my trade and sale pages. Like, the most of them are up for trade. So that's why you don't have to like wonder what kind of groups are mixed in this. Like I said, those is trade and sale. Then I am onto my Leo collection. Same actually like it is for Monsta X. I started collecting VIXX when they were already not releasing music that regularly anymore. So I just have a few cards, but I'm really glad that I have like this parallel set of Leo. because he's one of my alts and I really love it. I think it's so beautiful. And we have a postcard, a photo card of Whisper, even if it's like a bigger size. And then we are up to my Bts collection. I don't collect BTS that regularly. I just trade off the cards that I get when I buy the albums. My bias is Jimin, and I have some of his cards, and I'm really happy for those cards that I have. But I'm not collecting BTS too much in depth because they are very expensive. And yeah, there is this is like a very random page. There are just some freebies up there. And then this is my Txt collection, which I set pending for the last comeback because I was not sure what to do with it. But I really love the recent album. So I guess I will start collecting Txt again. And then we are on to one of my top biases, which is 10, and I collect him for all the groups he is in, which means NCTU, Super M, and WayV. And I start off with this card from NCTU, the rest is WayV, and then we're up to Super M. I think he definitely has the most cards from Super M by now, and there's a lot of those cards incoming. Then I also have this card from Yang that I pulled in their Takeoff album, and I don't want to trade this away because he is like my second bias, and I pulled him, so I keep those cards. And then I have some larger items. I'm really glad that I have those. And then there are two collections that I have not really started yet, but I want to in the future. And those are Taeyong for NCT 127. And the next one would be Taemin. For Taemin, it's like nearly the same. I just want to collect his solo cards and just some cards of Super M whenever I have, like I said, the full set. Also, there are more sets incoming. All of this is from Super M. And then we are onto my disbanded alt group X1. And my bias in X1 is and was Hoosok. I will continue this collection with his upcoming solo album. I'm so happy and I'm really excited for it. My second bias in X1 was Minhee. I'm not 100% sure if I will collect all his cards from Gravity. Maybe some. I think I will collect some cards. But I think I'm done with all of Hoosok's X1 collection, which is following in the next pages. And then I have those cards for Hoosok and Minnie and the rest of X1. And then we're up to my next bias, which is Hanung from Oneus. I'm pretty good with his Korean album cards. I just haven't got like the in its time stuff right now because my albums have not arrived until now, which was like quite a thing the last month. It was quite hard. I have some of his Japanese cards all for 808, but not all cards for Twilight Japanese. But I'm working on that collection currently. And then we have some postcards and onto my last alt group, the group that I altered like the latest. And this is Ateez. My bias in Ateez is Songhwa, and he is so incredibly hard to collect and expensive. But there's like good news to all the bad news. KQ is now reprinting all the old albums, which I always knew they would do because the albums were selling not bad, and there will be a lot of future new 18 to buy those albums. That's the reason why I didn't purchase the cards from episode 1 and 2 by now. I have one of his episode 3 cards incoming from Bai, which was offered for a good price, so I don't mind. And here are the rest of his like newer cards, and I collect Sun as like a bias wrecker and second bias, but just some of his Korean album cards. Like I don't have to have all cards from him. I'm just very happy with what I have. Here are some postcards, and then there's a lot of blank spaces for Victon continuous. A lot of those cards actually are on the way, but they haven't arrived yet. And then the full set that I have is this one from the nostalgia era, and I really love the set. I'm so glad I was able to get this for a good price because it is so pretty. And then we are onto the last cards, some cards of 17, but I don't actively collect 17. My bias would be June, so I was very happy that I pulled like those 3 cards in the poet version of the latest album. And then, like I said, there's just some random stuff. We have some Obtention here, some BDC, like Boys Da Capo. I really like them. Sheeran was like my ultimate bias on Produce X, so I really hope that they will have a comeback. The only girl group card that I have is Yoni from Rocket Punch. I'm not 100% sure if I want to collect Yoni or Suyeon, but I definitely want to collect Rocket Punch. So I'm already very excited for that. Then my bias in Ace is Byungkwan, and I want to collect some cards for him too. And then I just have some EXO larger items that were in their, I think it was their third DVD tour set for the Exodium. And I think I just put them there because I have them, but I don't collect EXO otherwise. And then that's it. That was my binder tour with all the postcards and PCs that I have until now. I hope you liked the video. If you do, you could subscribe to my YouTube channel or give this video a thumbs up. I'm thankful for all kinds of advice in the comments. I'm not a native English speaker, so I sometimes have to look for words a little bit more and watch my pronunciation because I'm not always too happy with it, especially not on camera. But I think it was fine. And yes, like, let's see each other in my next video. Bye.